A real rebellion has started within Donald Trump's team among representatives of the MAGA movement, which in fact was what brought Donald Trump to power. It has gotten to the point in Trump's team that high-ranking staff members who disagree with the methods of waging war against Iran have started to leave. For example, influential official Joe Kent, who headed the National Counterterrorism Center and was the chief aide to U.S. Intelligence Director Tulsi Gabbard, became the first high-ranking official in Donald Trump's administration to resign because of the war in Iran. He stated directly that he did not see any threat to the United States of America, and therefore there were no grounds for starting a war. And now Kent and the controversial Tucker Carlson are gathering a separate movement of opponents to Donald Trump's war against Iran, claiming that Trump is leading the country to disaster and thousands of lost lives. It's important to note here that the MAGA rebellion could seriously harm the Republican Party, which is currently heading into the congressional elections not in the best shape. My name is Pichi. Let's discuss this topic together, but before we start, I ask you to subscribe to this channel. Like this video, leave any comment below, and be sure to subscribe to my Telegram channel Pichi News. The link is in the description of this video, where we post breaking news as it comes in. So, a rebellion has started within Donald Trump's team because of the US war against Iran. Joe Kent, who headed the National Counterterrorism Center and was formerly the chief assistant to the director, has resigned from Donald Trump's team. Tulsi Gabbard. He stated that he does not agree with the war against Iran. Kent insists that Trump started the war under pressure from Israel, even though, in his opinion, Iran does not pose an immediate threat to the United States. And here it is important to understand that Joe Kent himself is a prominent representative of the MAGA movement, which helped Donald Trump become the President of the United States. Now the entire MAGA movement is puzzled. Trump used to say America first, but now he has started a war supposedly for the interests of Israel. But the real information explosion is still ahead, because in the coming days Joe Kent will give an interview to Tucker Carlson, another supporter of the MAGA movement who has publicly distanced himself from Donald Trump and is one of the most outspoken right-wing critics of the war and Israel. The White House couldn't come up with anything better. It's easier to just say that Joe Kent's idea that Israel incited President Trump to act is, quote, offensive and ridiculous. As for Kent himself, to quote White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, he was a good guy but weak on security issues. In his open letter before his dismissal, Joe Kent writes, and here is a large quote from him: I cannot, in good conscience, support the ongoing war in Iran. Iran did not pose an immediate threat to our country, and it is clear that we started this war under pressure from Israel and its powerful American lobby. I support the values and foreign policy that you, President of the United States, advocated during the 2016, 2020, and 2024 election campaigns, and which you implemented during your first year. Until June 2025, you understood that the wars in the Middle East were a trap that cost America the precious lives of our patriots and undermined the wealth and prosperity of our country. At the beginning of this administration, high-ranking Israeli officials and influential members of the American media launched a disinformation campaign that completely undermined your America First agenda. High-ranking Israeli officials turned the United States toward war with Iran. This is a disinformation campaign that undermined your agenda. America First poses a direct threat to the United States. And that if you strike now, you'll have a direct path to a swift victory. That was a lie, and it's the same tactic the Israelis used to drag us into the catastrophic war in Iraq, which cost our country the lives of thousands of our best men and women. In the beginning, high-ranking representatives of the far-right MAGA movement, he served in the Special Forces and as an officer in a paramilitary unit of the Central Intelligence Agency, after which disinformation twice undermined your America First program. In the beginning, influential representatives of the American media, citing his connections with far-right figures, his adherence to conspiracy theories related to the events of January 6 at the Capitol, and the alleged attempt to influence intelligence reports about the disinformation operation, which
Это именно тот парень, который
undermined your America First program.
At the beginning of the administration, high-ranking Israeli officials campaigned against Donald Trump himself.
About the stolen elections, about the events of January 6th at the Capitol, about how the Democrats are some kind of separate cult, and so on and so forth. All of this is being completely repeated. You're Joe Kent, and now it turns out he's saying, I have to renounce Trump. By the way, he writes about all of this in his open letter. As expected, the other camp from Trump's team immediately attacked Kent, Taylor, and everyone else. In the White House administration, Kent was called a crazy, selfish maniac who just wanted to make a splash before getting fired. One high-ranking official, Israeli officials, and influential representatives of American disinformation which undermined your program. Moreover, now in the White House, they even say that they repeatedly asked for everything. But she refused, so there are still questions here about whether, Tulsi Gabbard will now be pressured. But there is also another side. The administration and influential Israeli representatives of the American media are fiercely opposed to the war in Iran. Sociological surveys have shown that after the disinformation campaign, many more people support Donald Trump's position. You're America First. How could anyone vote for... At first, high-ranking Israeli officials and influential American media figures, and now they support Donald Trump when he started yet another new war. That's how it all adds up. Disinformation that undermined your opinion, your conclusions, write them in the comments under this episode, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and don't forget to like. In addition, if this episode was before the start of the administration, high-ranking Israeli officials and influential representatives of the American media launched a campaign with the help of donations, subscriptions, or sponsorship on YouTube. How do you do it? All the links and details are in the description of this video, or go to your program. America First.